All right, yeah, sure. November 2nd, coming up within 2 resets. So, yeah, the patch is coming out very quickly, and also Legion Time Walking bonus event will begin immediately, which I'm not a big fan of, to be honest. I definitely wish they would have gave it 1 week for that, but we'll see what happens. Would have liked to get the Covenant stuff out of the way, figure out what I'm doing with that, and then before we start worrying about Legion Mythic Plus. But that's going to be a big deal, so I'm going to start making some videos on that as well. Today we though came on to check the Legion Time Walking Mage Tower. Okay, this is a pretty important topic for a lot of people. They really, I think like a lot of people like really like missed their opportunity to do it, and they look back on it for something it's not. Okay, because this is interesting content to me. It's all right. It's like, I'm talking about solo content the other day as well. I was like, yeah, it'd be good if there was more solo content in the game, but I don't know. This is like a different type of solo content, I feel like. So at least the tank one, it never really seemed particularly interesting to me, but it's cool that they re-added it, and they're trying to make it a challenge. So my original like reason that they would never re-add it, and also same thing for like challenge modes from MOP and WAD, is because they'll never be able to, make them a reliable challenge moving forward. And that would be considering like things have changed from when they were added in the first place, and also because things would change like in the future as well. So we're back here, and they have made some adjustments. Now, if you haven't actually heard about it, they have restricted almost everything in the actual like game. You can't use it in the time walking, the Mage Tower thing there. So all Covenant's abilities, Covenant signature abilities, Shadowland legendaries, conduits, soulbinds, all shards of domination. I don't know why it says all frost shards. It's all shards of domination. I went in there. Basically everything from everywhere. Now, I went in there and did try the Heart of Azeroth, and it worked, but then they fixed it within like 15 minutes. They changed it so it doesn't work. So, yeah, from what I could tell, all that kind of stuff doesn't work. But you know what's interesting? A lot of other stuff does work. So, you're going to see this right now here, actually. I'm looking at two very specific things here. We could actually look at the damage breakdown of it as well. Potion of Unbridled Fury. Now, you may have seen me use this even in Shadowlands just because I'm cheap, but it's actually very interesting. It's a very interesting potion because it lasts a very long time. And there's other potions like that in Legion as well, like one that gives you stats. But there's another potion in Legion called Potion of the Old War, and this does a lot of damage in a short period of time. So these things seem to work right now. Now, maybe they won't in the future. I don't know, though. Like consumables and stuff like that, I don't think they will change it. But the other thing we're looking at here is this trinket, okay? Increases blah, blah, blah when you do damage against demons. Now, I don't know how many people have this because I think it was some kind of limited time item. There's a bunch of them. There's an intellect one. I think it was actually, yeah, it was from MOP or something like that. But chance on melee attack to grant Demon Bane, increasing strength by 36 and all damage against demons by 10%. If you score a killing blow while this effect is active, its duration is extended by 8 seconds up to the original duration. So that's great for this, right? That's exactly what we want. So I was trying these things out, seeing what these other ones would do. But yeah, it's like a trinket that makes you do more damage against demons. And the cool thing about this is now we scale. Okay, so if you haven't seen, we're going to show the footage in a second. Everybody scales down here. So not only down to the content, but down to level 45. So I actually tested it on a level 45 character as well, and that's a good place to start. So I'm on a warrior here, level 45. This is an actual level 45. This character is not being scaled at all. So as I expected, yeah, you can do this on any level character, probably 45 and higher. I haven't tested lower level characters. I don't actually have one, but yeah, 45 and higher for sure. But the problem is I'm showing here in this footage, spell reflection doesn't exist. So you don't get any spells or anything that you wouldn't have if you're 45, meaning you're going to be doing this without at least one talent and probably a lot of key spells. But this character also has like no gear. It's like I leveled it entirely through Korak's Revenge, so it doesn't even have gear. Like most slots are like I level like 20 items. So but yeah, you could see I'm able to do it. If I actually had the right health pool and everything, it probably wouldn't be that hard. The interesting thing that I forgot about that is like these are actually different per tank. So I did it on Blood DK, now I'm doing it on Prot Warrior. These are actually different. And, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but, there's different challenges and stuff like that. So like that mob there that tormenting eye. On Blood DK, you can only damage it with magic damage, so it's actually a lot easier to kill on a warrior than it would be on a DK. But yeah, you see the health pool is just relatively insufficient. But I thought that was interesting because that means you can come in here on characters that you're still leveling. You don't even have to be 60. You don't even have to be 50 seemingly. So, but that kind of thing really kind of scatters the imagination because like, yeah, okay, they're trying to limit the power of certain things, but there's always going to be some cool stuff that you can do, like using old potions or consumables, or like these heirlooms. I think these heirlooms might end up being a really, really good choice. And yeah, I love stuff like that. I think that kind of stuff is really cool. But I also don't really like going and like farming crazy stuff just for that. So I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about all that. But let's take a quick look at the DK stuff just because I want to show you how it's tuned. So this is my main DK, all right? So I lost a lot of stuff. Obviously, the Knife A Blink would have been really nice for this. But in general, a lot of the power I have is gone. So is that a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I really don't care, to be honest. I don't really have that much interest in this. But again, we're testing out the trinkets. So I'm testing out the Void Tendril trinket too. Now I don't even have this at max item level. It can be. So, but yeah. So as you see that that Inquisitive Staring mob, Tormenting Eye, it can't be damaged with physical damage. So I have to keep putting Blood Plague on it. But it's quite interesting because I haven't done this in a very long time. But last time I did it. It was so freaking easy because I just popped all my offense and I literally killed this guy before he even did anything. But he's dying pretty quick here thanks to the potion. You see the potion's still actually up there. 20 seconds on that. So that's probably a little wasted because I'm not actually getting full value out of that. But I don't really know what the best strategy is for this. If anybody cares to comment on that, let me know. I assume, like, the thing is when you stand underneath this boss, you get this stacking health debuff. I assume you don't really want to get that, but at the same time, you kind of have to be able to kill him. So I'm thinking like using Blood Drinker, using anything that's ranged, basically. The Death Coil, yeah, Death Coil, that'd be good too. That's why I thought the Heart of Azeroth would have been pretty cool to have because then you can get another ranged damaging spell. But you see how it's tuned. Like, I mean, it's not a joke. It's probably going to take a lot of people some time. I saw people on the actual realm here. Saying like anything from between like it's insanely difficult or it's insanely easy. Now I've only tested the tank one. I did try to come out here on a no spec character, by the way, and it doesn't work. So I'll just show you what happens when you queue. I think this is exactly how it used to be as well. This very tall NPC says I'm ready to face Cruel. So I think if I guess if I switch to Frost, let's take a look. It would change. But when I come out here on a no-spec character, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't even have a dialogue. So it's probably a good thing. Yeah, there we go. Xylem. So yeah, I guess it's just based on that. I'm pretty sure in Legion, it used to just have all three, and you choose the one you want, and then you would switch specs. But I guess it's different for all three specs. I don't exactly know how it's decided, but it's interesting. I like I said, I don't really... What happens if I queue for that? No, yes, it just doesn't actually work if I'm in the wrong spec. So anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're thinking about anything that might work. Like I said, I really do think potions, consumables, stuff like that'll probably stay in the game. That's probably not going to be restricted. But if you're not understanding why they're doing that, a lot of people are like criticizing it or saying they're like clueless or this nonsense that you hear all the time. It's because they have to. Like, they can't keep adding new stuff on top of what we have in Shadowlands and it be difficult. So yeah, they could tune it to be difficult right now with the stuff that we have, but that's not going to be there next season, right? And it doesn't even really work in the first place because it's not balanced enough as it is in Shadowlands content. So like, if you want this content to actually stay difficult, if you want to keep adding stuff like this back to the game, you have to keep those types of systems at bay. And that's something that, I think now that they're learning how to do that, there could be a lot of really cool systems coming back to the game or content that's been removed, and maybe they find a way to make it work. So let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next one.